Hey folks, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Sterling Health and Fitness Podcast. So today I have a return visitor to my program, and I'd like to introduce my very special guest, National Academy of Sports Medicine President, Andrew Wyant. Andrew, thanks so much for joining me again. How have you been?
Oh, fantastic. I really appreciate you having me back on the podcast, and happy to get a chance to talk to all the folks who follow your work and all the really interesting people that you talk to.
Well, I'll tell you, I know there's a lot going on at NASM. You've done some, as we talked before last summer, you've been doing some great things. I met you at Optima last year, just outside of Phoenix. That was the first annual Optima NASM conference, and what a fantastic event that was.
Well, thanks. I really appreciate you saying that. We weren't sure of what would really happen and how it would all unfold, and what was wonderful was that there were so many different people who had different mindsets and thought processes and brought really interesting and creative things to the table. And when you looked across the speakers that came out last year, I think that the feedback we got was so universally positive. People were really excited to hear from some of the great minds, many of whom you've actually interviewed on your podcast. And when you bring all those people together, there's something that's a little electric. It almost creates its own energy. And when we had that first one, we weren't going to call it an annual event up front, but we realized that it was so well received and there was so much more we could do. We decided to make it an annual event, and now this year on October 19th through 22nd, we're going to come back to Phoenix. We're going to do this at the Scottsdale Resort, and we're going to have probably twice as many people, but still keep it intimate by having lots of small group sessions throughout. So it's an exciting thing, and I'm really looking forward to some of the speakers. We're going to have some special guests, and we're going to have some really interesting things happen during the Optima program this year.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I will definitely be there for the whole time. Really looking forward to it a lot. So what's some of what's going to be going on at this year's Optima conference, which you said the dates are, again, October 19th through 23rd, right?
Yeah. The 22nd, I believe, but we'll extend on both sides with probably additional programming. There are a few things that I think are really going to be interesting. Last year, one of the most popular sessions was where Dr. Mike Clark came back and talked a little bit about what he's doing with his business in Fusionetics. And what's going to happen this year is Mike's going to bring one of the elite athletes that the folks at Fusionetics work with. And they're going to actually put a table in the room. We'll have cameras above, we'll have cameras beside, and we'll have people around this whole session. And he's going to actually work on one of those elite athletes using the program that he's created out of Fusionetics. So you can take and actually demonstrate to folks what it would be like to take someone like an NBA player. And we have a couple of folks in mind, but given the time of year that we're going to be in there, we're going to have to find an athlete who's either off-season or sadly, perhaps injured at that point and working through his recovery. And so we have a couple of people who we know can be there, who I'm sure that everyone would recognize and be excited to see the program.
That sounds really cool. That's great. Well, yeah, because I went to a couple of presentations by Dr. Mike Clark, and they were, I had never met him or seen him present before. And that was just knowledge bomb after knowledge bomb. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
So what else is part of the programming this year?
Well, I think that one of the things that we've really been known for is the corrective exercise side. And we have a number of speakers who will take our guests through more detailed applications. There's going to be a lot more emphasis on programming that people can take back so that when someone goes through this experience, if you have never been a personal trainer and you're starting out your career, and this is the first place you go where you want to learn, we're going to take you through some of the basics about how you can be the best personal trainer you can be. There'll be one whole set of programs around sales and marketing and building your business. And how do you do that from a social media perspective today? How do you create for yourself a presence where you can market yourself and gain more clients? And I think that would be something that's for everyone, but particularly for new folks. And then for folks who are further into their careers and have been to lots of programs, giving people more programming that they can apply, I think is universally useful. And then the more advanced folks, there'll be some more sessions that are really designed for application to take people to the next level. So I think there's going to be something for everything, for everyone in this program.
That's great. Yeah, and there's nothing better than going to a workshop or a seminar and walking out and being able to apply some of what you learned on your very next client. That's what happened last year there, and I had so many things to choose from because of all the great presenters there that I learned so much from. So that sounds fantastic.
Well, I was impressed and amazed because some of the sessions that I went to that I might not have otherwise gone to, when Dr. Emily was talking about barefoot running and shoe selection, I found her work fascinating. And, Brett Bookbush is always fascinating, really interesting. Marty Miller brought in some really interesting things that I enjoyed hearing what he had to say, among many, many others. And so, in total, while we'll have back some of the same speakers we had last year, we're going to offer more of everything for folks to give people more opportunities to learn and to really experience more.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I started teaching for Dr. Emily very shortly after that conference, and I'm honored to be working with her and doing some teaching. And I know she's going to be there. I know quite a few of the others who are going to be there, so I'm really looking forward to attending all those that I can possibly get to. And I know there are.
And I think one important thing to note about those you can get to, we're going to make sure this time that we capture as many of the sessions as possible on video. We want to make it available for people afterwards. So if you can't get to every one of the events and you actually want to have some more record of what was said and how things went down, we're going to be able to give you that as a follow-up for the program afterwards. We made available documents, but a lot of times a PowerPoint presentation doesn't give you all the richness or the color that you get by being there in person. And so while there is no substitute for actually sitting there and experiencing it, the next best thing is to be able to watch it on video afterwards.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, that is fantastic. I can't tell you how many times I've left a workshop, written a lot of notes, and then I go back to look at it. It still isn't the same, even with all the notes. I was just having a conversation with somebody down in New York City last week. I was down there with Brent at one of his workshops helping out, and we had that conversation that the video can take it a long ways. You can really, get more information. So that's really great. That'll be a nice follow-up. So, well, I'm really looking forward to this conference, and I'll have a link on the screen here where people can go, and I know registration is open, I believe, right now. Is that correct?
That's correct. That is correct.
So I'll have that on the screen. And anything else you want to add about Optima? And my next question after that is, what else is going on at NASM? Is there anything you'd like to share?
Well, there are really two major things that I'd like to share beyond Optima. And one final note on Optima is that for the first time, we're taking over a complete resort in Scottsdale. So really, effectively, everyone at the facility will be there for Optima. And for us, that's special because the kind of environment that we can create where you have people who are so passionate about fitness. So when it comes to everything from the menu to workouts in and around the programming, at that time of year here in Scottsdale, it's just beautiful in October. So you're going to get a little bit of everything. And so I think beyond just the fact that we've got the sessions, having the whole hotel and having it be dedicated for us is really going to change the experience for folks. And so I think that's really wonderful. As far as NASM is concerned, there are really two major things that I can point to, and there are lots of things that are coming that we can talk about in another day. The first one is that we're totally reimagining what the initial CPT program looks like. And when I say that, all the work that's gone into making NASM and the OPT model beneath that, the underpinnings of what we do, so special and so unique, we never wanted to lose any of that. But what we realized is that the way that the textbook had been created and crafted and the way that the learning experience was isn't taking advantage of all of the best and the latest thinking in terms of adaptive learning techniques and how do we take this to the next step and make it much more interactive. So we've hired here a group of coaches, people who are well-trained personal trainers who've been through a rigorous background and additional certifications and specializations. We've hired them, we've brought them here in-house, and so as we introduce the next version of the CPT package later this summer, we're going to have a whole new learning process. And I think what people will experience is a much more robust process where you've got coaching, you've got peers, you've got a network of people who are helping you through this process. And so I want to make NASM really a leader in learning and a leader in education, not just for fitness, but in just how you actually experience it. And so that you'll see probably by the beginning of July. And then based on those learnings, we'll make those applications into our PES and our CES over the next couple of years. But really, we're going to take this out and I think demonstrate to people how much we really care and how passionate we are about supporting personal trainers. The second thing is, I'm sure most of the people out there know that we acquired AFA, and AFA was really best recognized for its group exercise program, although they also had a personal training program. And as we looked at AFA and we saw opportunities, where we saw a really significant opportunity is to bring some of the science that we have around exercise science and around NASM business and the research that we've done and take that into a group setting. And while it's never going to be the same as personal training in the sense that what we can provide to someone in that one-on-one relationship, but by taking everything that we've learned about the products here and figuring out how we can apply that to group fitness and how we can extend and expand the AFA business, that has been a huge surprise for us. It's been met with really a groundswell of support from the people who are the AFA customers, as well as the existing customers, as well as the new ones. So the AFA business has been a great acquisition for us, and when I think about our future and how we're going to grow this business, finding ways to expand the footprint and expand the toolbox of personal trainers and helping people in their careers is really where it's at for us. And that's where we're going to be making our investments as we go forward, and that's what all of your listeners can expect from us going forward, is just try to do the best job that we can to be the leader in the industry, to helping the lives and the careers of people in fitness.
Well, that's great, because I know they have a high number of trainers, group and otherwise, through there, so the potential reach there is enormous, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Great.
Exactly.
Well, all of this is really exciting, and, you know, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, I'm just so glad you're at the helm of NASM, because you've been doing such great things. I'm really excited. I'm honored to be a part of the organization, too. So it's a great strides, moving forward all the time, growing and learning and reaching deep, changing lives. That's what it's all about, right?
Exactly. That's what it's all about, and that's what we feel every day.
That's incredible. Well, good. Well, thank you so much for joining me again, Andrew, and I'm looking forward to Optima. So for the folks watching, be sure to click on the link. It'll be on the screen, and get on there and get registered. There's an early bird special, too, so you'll see that when you go to the site.
That's right.
You want to
you don't want to miss
registered.
this one. This is going to be a special thing.
Pardon?
You don't want to miss this one. This will be a very special event.
Oh, yeah. This, I was there last year, and it was really, really good. just really, really good. And I've heard nothing but great feedback. And I already said this, but I can't emphasize how good it was because of the quality of educators that are coming in and teaching us, presenting to us, but also the quality of people who you're surrounded by. You know, I think I learned from every person that I had a conversation with, and that was countless people. So you're just positioning yourself by going to this. You're going to position yourself to really make serious growth in your knowledge, your ability to train people more effectively and change their lives. It's really cool. It's awesome. So thank you again. And I will see you at Optima in October.
Sounds great. I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks.
All right. I appreciate you taking this time, Andrew. Thanks again. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day.